All right, so check out what came in the mail today. This is the new Engel extra large double capacity lithium-ion bubbler. You might have seen a couple videos back I did a little review and testing of the smaller version, and in that video I mentioned I was a little concerned it might not be enough for this large 19-quart cooler I use for suckers and bullheads and creek chubs. So lo and behold, Engel came out with this larger version, which is basically two of these put together. So let's get this unpackaged and we'll do some comparison and testing and see if you should buy this one instead. So here's everything that comes in the package. You get the bubbler, you have a 4-foot silicone tube, which is longer than the than what they had been shipping to account for your bigger cooler that you'll be using. So a little extra tubing's nice. It comes with a puck style air stone, which will give you a little more surface area. You have the charging cord and the charging brick. So that's what ships with the unit. Here's a quick comparison side by side. So it's obviously bigger dimensionally. Let's get a quick weight on it and see the weight comparisons. So the standard original version looks like it's 11.1 ounces, and the extra large version is exactly 1 pound. So only about 5 ounces heavier. Okay, next let's do a sound test on these units. I have the mic going directly to the camera, so we'll get a kind of worst case scenario here. Let's do the small one first. That's highest power. Sorry, that's highest power. And we'll go to 3, 2, 1. That's the lowest power. It's really quiet. It's virtually silent. Okay, now let's do the large version. There's high. 3, 2, and 1. That's the lowest. So we'll go back to 4, and that's as loud as it's going to get. And I'm in a pretty quiet room here, so get a pretty good idea. Okay, so a couple things to go through with you here real quick. The like I mentioned earlier, the bigger one is essentially like two of these put together. So it's got double the output. This one has 1.5 liters per minute, and this one has 3 liters per minute. The battery, this one has one battery in this one actually has 3 batteries in it, 3 2,000 amp batteries, and this one has one, I believe it's like 1,500 milliamps. So this one, the battery life will be about double. Not quite, because it's got more output, but I believe on low, you know, you're looking at a good 3 days worth of power, especially if you put it in intermittent mode. I think that's the best case scenario. You put it in intermittent mode, and I think they say you get like 72 hours runtime. So that's pretty impressive for a bubbler. So pretty convenient. Again, it's definitely thicker, a little taller, and I'll show you real quick here. I don't know if you remember on the previous video I did, I modified this to actually sit sideways on this because it didn't really fit in this clip, and the rubber feet seem to want to fall off. So I just checked the rubber feet on these real quick, and they seem to be pretty secure, so that's good. I did mention this to Engel as well, and they said that the larger coolers should work better for the clipping system, so let's try that. Let's see, so it definitely fits on the shoulder strap really well without hitting the rubber feet or anything. And then the actual clip, it does look like the rubber feet are hitting the clip that it's designed for, so those rubber feet might be coming off. I'm probably just going to use the shoulder strap here, just because it fits better. So the only other downside of this is the tubing will be coming out of the bottom of the aerator here. And I talked to Engel about that as well, and they said that was just to keep water from intruding into the pump. And so you'll have to deal with a little loop of, you know, tubing up into here. And I guess you could mount it sideways like I did on the other one. Or if you mount it sideways or upside down, just make sure to put a little check valve in line. Then you don't have to worry about any water getting into the pump. But since this fits so well here, I'll probably just use it as is and see how that goes. And I can show you quick what it looks like, you know, with the tube going through there. Essentially, that's what it's going to look like. It's not too bad with this bigger cooler. It's a little more exaggerated with the smaller cooler, that loop. So that's not too terrible. And I can turn it on here quick just to show you. It's pretty dang quiet. All right, so everything there looks really good. As I mentioned earlier, it comes with this puck style stone. So you get a lot more surface area. So what I'm going to do next is we'll do a test. We'll do the smaller one in here, and then we'll do the larger one, and we'll see if we can see any difference in this jar here. Got this stone set up in this jar. We have it hooked up to the smaller Engel pump, and let's just turn it on and see how it looks. Okay, so we'll go down to lowest power. There's highest power. So that's about the most you're going to get out of that one. And that's actually quite a bit. I like that bigger stone. All right, so that's the standard version. Now let's hook it up to the XL dual capacity. We'll put this one on the highest setting there as well too. And yeah, you can definitely tell there's double the output on there, as it should be. It's essentially twice the power. So that's highest setting. We'll go down to, there's the lowest setting. And what they say is 19 quarts and above, so this should work for bigger coolers as well. Really quickly here, I'll show you. Okay, we'll go back to highest. I'm going to set it to intermittent. So it's going to do, it's going to run for a little bit, and then after 10 or 20 seconds, it'll shut off, and then 10 or 20 seconds, it'll just come back on again. And that's what you want to do for your longest battery life. So really, that's, if you don't need constant aeration, this is the way to go for sure. Conserve on battery. And again, it's you can barely hear this thing, which is what I like the best, because those other ones are really annoying. So yeah, that's the Engel XL dual capacity aerator. Real quickly before I go, I'll remind you that it has a USB-C charger on the side. Just plug that in. It charges up quick. Also, it's got magnetic induction pumps, which is different than the older diaphragm mechanical pumps we're used to. That's what makes them so much quieter, and also what should make them last a lot longer too. I believe the warranty on this one is 2 years, so that's pretty good. I'll put links to both the smaller version and the larger version, and also I'll put links to the coolers as well if you're interested in that. Just take a look down in the description. And I believe the larger pump does cost more, obviously, because it's basically 2 pumps. So the smaller version, last time I checked, was going for $49, and the larger version was $69. If you got a larger cooler, larger baits, you're definitely going to want to go with this larger version. Had I known, you know, they were coming out with this, I would have just bought this one. But this small one will work good for ice fishing and smaller baits as well. So hopefully you can check that out, and I highly recommend the Engel pump.